yourself. And in high school, it was so limiting for me that when we had to give speeches, I would faint. And I would not allow myself to get my message out there. It was just too painful for me. And, that's another thing that you have to understand, that these associations aren't yours. And we have certain motivations that allow us to keep this. So we think that this motivation is helping us, but you have to change your associations, then, acknowledge and become aware that this association or this belief was formed because of somebody else. They picked it up, and that's how they were living their life. But you don't have to go ahead and live your life the same way as them. You could see how it played out in their life and how limiting it was, and it doesn't have to be the same for you. So when you could step out and detach, like this belief was somebody else, then and see it in front of you, you could just, go ahead and validate it and say, like, you know what, thank you so much for bringing up this belief. I had it, and I saw how it, it worked and how it played throughout my life, and it's absolutely amazing. And, you need to give that validation because it did exactly what you had, that belief that you had formed in your subconscious mind, and it played out. It showed you through experiences, through people, through your behavior. And once you could tell it directly and say, like, oh, I no longer prefer to hold on to this belief, and then you could let it go. And once you let it go, you replace it. It's very important when you let go of any old belief to replace it with a brand new empowering belief. So when you replace it, say, I am good enough. I am enough. I don't need validation. I validate myself. I have a higher purpose, a higher goal. Everything that I do is to empower the world, to help people, and you need to make that association more pleasurable to you than the last one. And you have to go back and tell yourself that the old belief is painful, because we work on two principles that motivate us, and that's pain and pleasure. So you have to always associate any belief that you no longer want. You associate that as more painful than your new belief, and your new belief as most pleasurable. So let's see. Let me see what's best and compare the worst. Every person has a message and light about them. Exactly. The belief and serves your higher purpose. Exactly, Amanda. That's incredible. We have to always replace the belief, because once you replace the belief, you also need to start acting like this was the only belief that has ever existed. So just as true as the other belief was, and you play that out in your life, you need to replace this new belief or create this new belief and act like this was the only belief. And every action, that inspired action, go ahead and take it, because this new belief is going to be reinforced in your reality. And don't be scared to take risks, because the universe is literally, you create your reality. So I hope this helped. You guys could go ahead and find me on a journey to the best you.com, and if you mention this masterclass, I will give you $25 off your first empowerment session with me. So I hope this helped, and thank you so much. Let me read some comments. So if you're trying to help us redefine the limits we create for ourselves, so our limits are a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, so let me just answer this one class for LJ. So he's saying that redefining the limits we create for ourselves. So limits are a good thing or bad. So they are a little bit of both, okay? They allow us to become aware that we have a limiting belief, that there's something within us that we need to change. So it just gives us the awareness, instead of allowing this to play out throughout our lives and it's unconscious, it's because we play out so many unconscious patterns throughout our lives. And if you could actually recognize and take responsibility that you've created this from this belief, then it's a good indicator to tell you, like, no, I'm in charge of my life. I could go ahead and change that. So it's actually a good thing because it allows us to recognize that we have a limiting belief that is preventing us from our goal. Okay. So is there any other questions, you guys?